Okay, so in some unexpected news, we are looking at possibly going to pick up an ATV or go-kart. I have a few of them that I'm going to go look at, and hopefully we come home with one of them. I think it'd be really cool to have something like that for the bus. Anyway, I went out to go get some ramps because I don't have any, and I nearly fainted in the aisle when I saw that they're $250. So I'm going to just make my own, and it's not going to be that hard, but I'll just show you guys what I'm doing here. So we got a boatload of scrap wood over there, and I figured we could maybe make something out of that. Now, I also found this giant piece of wood at Home Depot, and it was on clearance. It is a little bit warped. It's very heavy, so I'm not going to lift it, but if you look at the end, it's shaped kind of like that, but that's fine. You know, I'm not going to spend $250 on some ramps when I could spend 15 bucks on a piece of wood like this and make my own ramps.
Okay, are you gonna have speed?
You could,
It's so wonderful and amazing, you wouldn't even believe it.
so as you guys can see, it looks great. So we are going to go ahead and pick up that go-kart. All right, so we now have the go-kart and the deer are checking it out. So I picked this thing up for $200. It comes with a supposedly running engine that has not run in like 10 or 15 years. It has compression, which is a good sign. So that by itself is 150% worth the $200. But not to mention the go-kart frame here. Look at this cool thing. So it is a full rolling go-kart frame. It does steer, it does roll. It just has a running engine that is not connected to anything. Now, I am a little puzzled why they would put the engine all the way up front here and then the transmission all the way back here. Normally when people build a go-kart, they put the engine and the transmission back here. But I mean, that won't be a very hard conversion. And this is just some kind of a riding lawnmower transmission, I think. Although I was looking at it and I think he's got it on here backwards. So that's something we're gonna have to change. But for now, we're just gonna see if we can get the engine started. Just confirm that it does run. And if it does, I might just sell it right off the bat and then put like a 212cc engine or something, because we don't need this sketchmobile going over 100 miles an hour. Okay, so I've already done a little investigating on this engine here. And I don't remember if I already said that it has compression. It does have compression, so all the most expensive issues are eliminated. So we are gonna try and see if it does actually run. So, as you can see, good strong compression. What we like to see. So I got some fuel line. This didn't cost a whole lot. It was just 10 bucks, but it's got a little shut-off valve and everything. I just got it at my local auto parts store. Now I also went and I got a new fuel filter because the one that was attached to this thing was full of gravel and sand and gunk and other stuff. So got a new fuel filter too so that it can actually have fuel. So the way we're doing this here, I just took off the fuel line going to the carburetor. I hope you guys can see this. This is the carburetor right underneath the air filter. So I just trimmed a little piece of the fuel line. I took the old crumbly one off because that is just screaming for a fire right there. We got a fresh fuel line going up to the carb. Now we're going to put the fuel filter in line to the carb. I'm actually not sure what direction this is supposed to flow. Oh, the other way. So this looks like it's not going to be quite as straightforward. I'm not confident the vice grips will work for this, but it looks like it can be unscrewed, and it does not have any kind of head. So this is my only solution to seeing if it unscrews. It does. Okay, I couldn't quite tell if it was welded or if it was screwed in. Okay, well, looks like we can't quite get that tank to work, so I'm gonna go get a little tiny one. Okay, so not ideal. I found a little 1 gallon gas tank. So we'll make that do. A 1 gallon gasoline fire is a lot easier to put out a 5 gallon gasoline fire, so it's better than a 5 gallon tank. We're just testing it, so we literally only need like just a couple drops of gas. However, this tank is not working. It's all jammed up at the bottom here and the cap is stuck on. So what we're gonna try and do is siphon the gas into the engine, or we're just gonna siphon it into the fuel line and then hope that the cart can just suck it in the rest of the way. Okay, so we are just gonna try and set this on the ground. It's not the smartest idea to suck on a fuel line, but it's clear so I can see where it's at. You really shouldn't do that, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, so we got the fuel line primed up, killed the shutoff valve, so hopefully we can just connect it and it'll fire. That is the theory anyway. So let's see if we can figure out where the starter is. Looks like it's just right here. So let's do this. I'm not sure where the ignition switch is. So I don't know if this is a unit that kills the engine by grounding out the spark plug, or if it has to turn the coil on. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just try and crank it because we're already at that point, so we might as well. If it does not fire, then we'll figure out where the ignition switch is and connect it. Just short it together and that should get it to start. I have a feeling that this just grounds out the spark plugs though, so we're just gonna try that and see, and if that's not the case, then we'll figure out where to hook up the ignition switch and just short it out. A little bit better. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I think we should remove the spark plugs and hopefully the lack of compression will then allow it to spin more freely, maybe loosen everything up. It's been a long time since this motor's run, so I'll probably use a good just a couple rotations just to get the oil flowing again. Now when doing this, you don't want to do it for more than like 20 seconds at a time because these starters are not meant to continuously turn. Right now I'm just getting it to rotate so that the oil starts to flow through it. Hopefully it gives the starter a little bit easier time to turn it over when the spark plugs are back in. But we are gonna have to take a wire brush to the spark plugs because there's no way it's gonna start with at least that one. Okay. Nope. Nothing. You know, is it bad that I want to hook up my 18-volt drill battery to this just to see if the extra voltage would start it? I think that would be a bad idea. I don't want to sacrifice a drill battery for this. Drill battery costs more than the whole thing cost me. Okay, so we are taking off the air filter just to see if that makes any difference. Yeah, I think the starter shot. Before I go investing in a whole starter, because I'm not even confident this engine will run, but it has compression, so it's hopeful. I'm gonna figure out what size this is, what this nut on top is, and I'm probably just gonna see if I can find a socket for it and just drill start it, see if that works. But I unfortunately can't do that today. We are out of time for this. Stay tuned for more bus videos to come. I just edited a whole bunch of them and uploaded them, so we're gonna be getting a lot of bus videos here soon. This project I'm gonna just try and work on in my free time, so I may not post as much about this one, but once the bus is fully wrapped up, I will have way more free time to deal with this. Until next time, guys,